pushing here. Hopefully we get some better roads. We get to Oklahoma.
Not far behind you, Jordan. And it looks like 4th Road might be the better option. I'm not sure. Having a hard time getting maps to go up and everything. Careful on that road, Ben. If you went straight south like me, that thing took a hard 90-degree turn with no warning. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
And if it's going to produce, it's probably a pretty good spot to do it. Not much out here.
Tornado warning over here. Heading its way over. About to reach there.
Oh, man. Somebody else. Got a few chasers out here, not many though.
Very low.
Wonder if they just upgraded the warning or added to it because my phone is going bonkers now. We have a tornado on the ground, fully condensed tornado on the ground.
Yep, there it is.
As we can see, Storm Chasers confirmed tornado is on the
Wow,
ground.
came down quick.
Here it is on radar. It is making
Copy
its way
that.
down there.
Where's it at in that wall cloud? Redman, I see your shot of it. If there's any way, if you can see it, if you're able to get the camcorder on it, that'd be great.
Be making its way all the way down there in the direction of Buffalo.
Yeah, copy that. Gotta move here.
Decent couplet. CC drop yet.
Just
Storm
listed.
Chaser confirmed. Very large hail too, 3 inches.
Yeah, I just looked over and saw it there for just a minute.
You ended up in front of me.
Look at any other warnings that we have. This is the only warning that we have right now on the ground, heading its way in the direction of Buffalo.
I take it must have been pretty
severe thunderstorm warnings over here from Texas.
Yeah, pretty brief. It was definitely fully
Kansas
condensed.
shouldn't be affected too much. It is going to be making its way out, but there is a couple storms as we can see right here, just southeast of Greensburg. A little blip there, rotating just a little bit over here, Cherokee. That one's pretty good. I'll bring up some statistics over here in a second while we watch our storm chasers on the ground.
Bad dead zone, so I switched it back to me.
But yeah, I'm having a hard time getting anything to work over here. Starlink suffering.
We look at our history wall. This is what I like to use. So this is our projected storm right here. We could definitely see a few more. It seems like an H-strip warning position in the most favorable environment. They're in between Kansas and Texas and Oklahoma. And I was going to do a video today, unfortunately.
Alright guys, so there briefly was a fully condensed tornado in progress on that cell as we're repositioning.
As well. So definitely could see
We're getting out ahead of it now. Just crossed
the
into
cast
Oklahoma.
Showed that. Let's go look at our violent tornado parameter which basically is kind of like an AI representation of where tornadoes could be and how likely they are. It's just the Storm Prediction Center's website like that. We'll go down there to violent tornado parameter.
Then we should have
So you can
the
see
first road
it
on the
is
left
9,
up
which is
here,
actually
probably
pretty high. We only see 9. Last time when I saw 14, which bumped up to 20, we saw an extremely violent tornado out there in Nebraska a couple months ago. So this is a good sign that we could see a tornado. And right now there actually is a tornado, but recurring tornadoes. And it went from 5 hours ago just being 5, which is toss up, to now 9, which is pretty good chance. We like the storm RFD. Let's get closer. Still, it's kind of a little outflow down. Let's check out the storm chase.
Rotation once again, Pod.
I do see some pretty good motion.
Alright guys, we're about to get back out ahead of it.
Little possibly, can't really tell just from this angle of the storm. This looks like the inflow feeding in the wall cloud is probably right in here. Just
It's paved.
Definitely, I'm going to set up OBS so we can do better storm sight. I don't have one monitor doing everything. I can just flip through, so stream quality will be improved in the future. A couple other storms to mention. Yeah, this storm is really good. Really good 70 mile an hour. We just observed from this storm. That's the only. Yeah, this is the only storm that's producing significant hail, wind, and a tornado. Well, that latest scan does look a little bit better than previously. Our rotation doesn't run with this.
Alright guys, we're getting back in position out ahead of this thing.
Could be a little closer.
Let it pass you, Redman.
That might be a CC drop. Probably not, but there is a small chance that that could be a CC drop.
Copy that.
It's too far to grab that cord. It's very well. There we go. That's a little better. I will switch monitors here in a second. But the storm is pretty intense, so the tornado stays lifted, and hopefully it does not reach the top of the low climb. So gotta be keeping a close eye on that.
Field ops off air.
Take a look at
Fox weather
the
audio
models
feed.
again in just a second.
On air.
They updated the tornado warning, and instead of moving down there to Buffalo, it is showing that it's going to be there to Roston, Oklahoma.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's either going due south or even a little bit south-southwest.
So that's something to keep in mind there. I'll turn down the desktop audio as well so you guys can hear me a little bit more clearer. Just have it so I can hear the storm chasers. They still have a radar indicator you know, it's actually the lowest warning radar indicated rotation, which it did confirm over radio anyways to one of the other storm chasers. Let's go look at some other storms as well. Over here in Delhart, rotating just a little bit, and our main key area of where a violent tornado could be is definitely a bit north, and there is no more storms over there in the north, which is quite a good thing. Glad that's happening. Most of the storms are being kept over here east of that, and there's also some boundaries that we can see, and these boundaries, if there is a storm that is able to lock onto one of them, that's when we can see tornadoes that wouldn't be very bad become very bad. It intensifies the spin and the environment that it's in, causing the low level wind shear, which tilts the updraft and makes it quite a bit more intense. Over here in Wichita, these storms are just starting to fire. We'll take a look at satellite actually to assess these storms. If we look at the rotation, these storms do not appear to be rotating very well right now, not really having any mesocyclone features. This one does just a little bit, so that's actually good. So the tornado potential, it is only a 2% tornado chance today, so that's good that it's staying that way. Mesoscale discussion does go up to 115 miles an hour for tornadoes, which does mean there is a chance for a, I like to categorize it, if it's just up to 95 miles an hour, very low chance of a tornado, maybe a tornado warning. And at 115, there's a chance of a few tornado warnings. But if it's capped at 115, most likely just brief tornadoes and nothing super strong at all. And then peak wind gusts 70 miles an hour with 2.5-inch hail being peak hail size. From this further radar, the rotation does have more of that tightness there on the mesocyclone anyways, but if we do get a little closer to that, the rotation does look a little bit better than it was before. Still a there we go. Okay, we'll put Brandon. This is definitely a good view of that storm. That's a really beautiful wall cloud. Absolutely beautiful. So tornadoes likely not on the ground, as we can see here. But that is a really nice wall cloud. But very good that there is no tornado there on the ground. Sorry for the low audio if you have any. Don't know why there is no chat enabled for this live stream. That's quite odd. See what's wrong with that next live stream. Turn up the chaser audio.
Then again, honestly, it might be cycling. You might be right. I see over there what's interesting, and it looks like the rain might be choking this portion off.
Yeah, they said that it might be cycling, which is a good sign for tornado genesis again. Move this up here just a little bit. You can see this is the storm right here, and these are the chasers. If you have the WeatherWise app, you can track and watch these chasers.
Oh, there we go. We needed the form over there.
Yeah, it does look like it's curling up a little bit, so that's a good sign for tornado genesis. Hopefully it does not do that. If we look at our vertically integrated liquid, which tells us, you know, so very large hail core.
I should probably shoot an as live real quick.
As we know, they are saying confirmed 2.75-inch hail is observed, which is absolutely crazy. Beside that X notch, which is actually, I believe that's really favorable for very strong storms. So I'm going to bring up satellite here in just a second. So if we do go to all to do pages, satellite view. The storm that we're looking at is this one right here. We will go into level... Yeah, that definitely has the strongest. That's definitely the strongest storm of the bunch, and it's semi-isolated. It's actually isolated pretty well there from the south. Those storms don't look very significant. The one just to the east of that storm, which would be...
This thing is pretty structured.
This one, I believe, near Attica is also... Yeah, that is definitely rotating quite strongly. So, over here in Attica, going down there to
Redman, you doing all right back there?
Manchester, Anthony, Hazelton, definitely could see potential, and it does look like a hook is definitely trying to form. Another tornado warning, just the same one. Yeah, they just kind of...
I'll take that as a yes.
You definitely can cancel that one. That's expiring in 19 minutes now. Then don't need that one anymore. But yeah, this storm over there to the east, making its way down.
We're about to have a handoff
Also
here,
something that we
chat.
do need to take a concern on satellite. It does look like it's going up pretty well. If we look at our past satellite map, this one over here, we have a U, which is indicate of an extremely strong mesocyclone updraft. And there, and it just popped out of nowhere and became extremely strong. That's
I had a
actually
freaking
just a
something
few
stuck in
frames
my
in the
brakes.
nothing there to absolutely this U shape with that right there. So on the hill, we also saw a
Classic
triangle
rock in
just
the
like
brake
that.
line here.
So that's indicative of pretty strong. But overall, the storm in
RFD
the
search
east,
coming around. Let me
it's
see
definitely
here.
slower to progress, but it
Okay,
does still
I'm
have
gonna go
some
south.
potential. Because over here, west of these storms is where the greatest tornado potential is. So there's that. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this storm right here. Rotating. So definitely keep a close eye on that one, and we'll definitely keep this one. So down there to Roston and making its way down to Laverine, something like that. The hail is definitely going to possibly make its way over there to Buffalo. And as we saw on satellite, you can see this little V. This is only indicative of extremely strong supercells, extremely powerful supercells. That's what I mean by that. Not necessarily tornado producing supercells. Very strong updraft. Which is also indicative of 2.75-inch hail and stuff like that. Look at some other storms. Over here in Perryton, have a little updrafts there, some blips. Dalhart, rotating a little bit. Close this down a little bit more. From that is Tornado 1 does look pretty impressive. And they have issued a severe thunderstorm watch for this area right in here in this pinkish color. Like, there we go. Disappeared. 20% wind and hail threat. Let's go look at some other things as well. Just south of Wichita, Windsfield, definitely some updrafts right there. Cherokee, too close to radar. We'll look at the second radar. So we can see that mesocyclone right there, or the wall cloud from the mesocyclone. Very round, which is a good sign of tornado potential. It is making its way, it's wrapping itself up pretty well. Not much of a curve, but the mesocyclone is right in here, kind of far, so the shear is quite interesting. I'll take a look at what the shear volume is saying there. Definitely has a chance of producing a tornado within the next 5 to 15 minutes if it does get its act together. Take another quick look at satellite. Refresh this. Yeah, still about the same. Seems like the it was peak their last frame, and then now not so much. But we still have that amazing U shape right there.
I'm gonna go south, but I'm watching this area for a sec. Ooh, those winds are strong.
Velocity over here does look pretty strong, a little better. I actually might be having a mesocyclone handoff. Over here there is some more rotational aspect, and this is closer to the storm because this is like really far away from all the action, and I can confirm that or deny that here. I'll just weather and look at basically the photograph of what to expect, like the wind shear. So the wind shear, basically how the wind shear is up in the atmosphere, basically gives the supercells their dimensions and size. We'll take a sounding right here on Monday. Yeah, so I would say if we look at that again, it is playing a factor, but I do think that there might be a mesocyclone handoff happening up here, because if we look at this, the mesocyclone right here would be right in here, there at the surface, and then all that wind and hail would be out in this side. And if we look at the picture right here, we do see that curve, but the curve is going well down there, a little further than what it should be, and it does make sense that there would be a mesocyclone handoff happening right there, and is looking quite messy. So it is going to possibly cycle within the next 10 to 15 minutes to produce another tornado. So we don't have to worry about tornado potential. But as it makes its way closer to Roston, Laverine, Log Cabin, May, just west of Buffalo, gotta be keeping a close eye on that. Let's go take a look at any other significant storms. Let's go look at these 1.5 inch hailstorms. So this is what I was talking about earlier, that pretty strong storm I saw. Yeah, it has 1.5 inch hail now compared to previous. There are 3 other storms actually with 1.5 inch hail on them, and yeah, 70-mile-an-hour winds. So this storm is looking pretty sweet when it comes to how strong it is. Delhart. This is over in Texas. It's kind of far from radar, so they can't confirm a whole lot. It's actually really, really far away from radar, so it's really hard to see exactly what's happening. That didn't sound good. That's weird. Okay. And then the last storm is right here. This have a V notch, so it's just beginning to form, but it also has a nice hook there. Looks like a hook trying to form, so we'll see how that goes with a little bit of rotational aspect, not a whole lot. It does have that flying eagle, so it's just getting its act together. We'll see what happens with that. We look, wind's getting shot. That's a good sign of inflow kicking in, strong updraft. I'll add this over here. Oh, new tornado warning. Just an update from the previous one. They're going to allow this one. No, they're not going to allow it to expire. That's really weird. Okay. If we do look at satellite again, let's see if it updated. There we go. Okay. So the updraft did look like it peaked right about 2 or 3 frames ago. We'll see if it gets stronger again. That's the one with 1.5 inch hail. I think the town, yeah, Anthony. I was right. So this storm right here. We'll see how it does. Hopefully these storms don't do too much, obviously. This one is going to make its way in between a radar dead spot limit. No, that mesocyclone is improving quite a bit actually, so I might have been wrong about a mesocyclone handoff. That is actually some amazing, that's crazy good velocity right there. Especially being far away from the radar site. We'll keep an eye there on this storm right here. Does look very promising to produce a tornado very soon. There it is. I believe that is the mesocyclone wall cloud. That is spinning very, very, very well. That's pretty good for tornado genesis, it looks like. Yeah, and that's rotating well. And you can see right here, even more lowering, which is even a more promising sign. So this is looking really promising over here. This is making its way down into Oklahoma. It is in Oklahoma, down to Roston, Lawrence, just west of Buffalo, and east of Gate, Knowles, in Oklahoma. Getting kind of close to the border of Texas there. So we'll definitely need to keep a really close eye on that. Like, subscribe if you want to see more coverage. First live stream here at Mesocapt Weather Association. We just said intensely wrapping rain curtains, which is a pretty promising sign that that mesocyclone is wrapping the rain from the other side of the storm into the updraft area, which is pretty, it's good for tornado potential. Still kind of looks like there might be a mesocyclone handoff, but probably not. It's so far from radar, the velocities are going to look a little bit bugged. Maybe even the possibility of a little contamination. Said funnel cloud. I'll turn up the chasers.
I'm a little bit farther out ahead of it, and I can see the RFD starting to surge around right now on the west flank.
Yeah, RFD surging around is really, really good.
There is a west road here, but it's completely unpaved. I'm not taking that. That's just asking me this stuff. I was coming back, guys.
So yeah, definitely looks really promising. It seems like any other storms that were to produce tornadoes does seem a little bit not likely. There is definitely a possibility, but with this having only a 20% tornado, this is one of probably 2 storms that ever will be tornado warned. So Attica not seem like it's getting its act together for right now for tornado potential. Just a big hailer. Wichita, see a lot of storms over there, paralleling vertically right there. Check those producing some lightning, so we can see by the lightning. Rotating a ton. They just said extreme rapid rotation right in front of them.
Full visual of the rock on top of it. Thing is chunky. Still just south and south, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm dropping straight south on this road still.
Yeah, I'm getting a better view of the small cloud the further south I get.
But he still has that notch, which is a good sign for
Also, a new base off to our west.
Yeah, I'm watching that. Storm still seems like it's moving either due south or south-southwest.
Yeah, the storm is, it's got really good velocities, especially being super close on its way outside, good radar coverage, all of the routing around, which is one of the biggest points that on its way to Texas, there's a 2% tornado that is a 50% chance to kill these out there. Where is the roll right? It's looking really good.
You do. I'm just kind of moping my way south here. Funnel halfway to the ground. Red man, come back, funnel, coming down, coming down.
Oh,
Where is it at?
Over the road right behind us.
There it is. Yep, I got it, I got it.
Copy that. See it. I see it.
funnel is on the ground. Your funnel is tornado production does seem very good. Making its way down there to Woodland,
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
Boston. First it'll be a bunch of specifically to the east of Boston, but wonderful going if you are listening.
I'm almost to it, but there's a dust roll on
So
the ground.
it's just too funny. Seem to be like family band. Chasers are like over gathering a little bit of so the storm will be making its way down there to Providence. Maybe Buffalo might be hit by some hail. Okay. There's many other storms out here as well. Still some initiation.
It is reaching the ground. It is on the ground. Dust swirls being observed.
They did say tornado was on the
Channel
ground.
5.
Steve, I got you. Tornado in progress. Nope, I gotta back up. I gotta go back the way I came.
This is the second tornado of the day. If you're liking the live stream, please like and subscribe. Help boost the algorithm. I believe I'm one of very few live right now. Fortunately, we were not able
Jordan, there's
to
a west
do
road
it
we can
today,
intercept
so-
this on.
The storm does have pretty nice equipment. It's just getting its act together. See how this
Right there, right there.
Yeah, there's your thing right there. Looking pretty tough, Texas. Does not much. Yeah, this is quite an impressive sound.
Watch this thing, they're cleared somehow.
Yep, tornado warning observed. Confirmed tornado.
Come on, baby, just fully condensed.
All the way down there to Boston, making its way down there. WS has issued observed.
Starting the rope, but just won't go away. She's muddy.
Hopefully this does not turn into anything.
Yeah, totally on the ground.
Doesn't seem very likely with the conditions today, mostly just brief tornadoes seem to be the most important, unless we do get some boundaries, which increase the chance of seeing something like that. So we do have a tornado on the ground. Let's switch towards Boston. Other storms, this is a camera.
Right
That
there, guys.
camera
Look
right
at this
there.
thing.
There's a T here.
The way.
South, 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 south. Go south.
I'll turn the chasers down a little bit so you can hear me quite a bit better. Oh, they are excited. Perryton, just a little thing there. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. And all the way over here to the edge of the Panhandle. Did not expect to see a whole lot. Little initiation there with some 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. We look at our composite. Yeah, seems like most of the initiation is actually a lot more horizontal than what was expected by the models earlier. Let's see if I can turn my mic up manually. That's an interesting vortice right there.
I still got the funnel over there, guys. Still got the funnel.
This should be better. Sorry if you hear any noise. We look right here at our surface vorticity. We do have quite a bit of surface vorticity, which does enhance tornado potential, and some strong 3 cape. So with that environment that we have, which is this low-level shear environment with straight level in the upper, so the vorticity and the 3 cape will definitely help that tornado potential with a little bit of a landspout chance as well. Really trying so hard to get a good tornado. Well, environment. We have any significant storms to the north of this. Basically anything over off to the north. Specifically right in this area is the most favorable from what I can see. So definitely gotta keep a close eye on that. Just gonna occasionally check and see what our violent tornado parameter, which basically measures the chance of a tornado, kind of like an AI chance, but it's more like machine learning. Actually, no, it compiles a whole bunch of atmospheric data, puts it all together, and gives its randomized math chance there, dividing and multiplying all that stuff together to give it. If we look at it right now, which was an hour ago, this is our storm, and it's just on the edge. So we're seeing 9. 9 is a pretty good chance of seeing a tornado, which we have twice from the same storm. Briefly, they're trying to chase it right now, trying to get closer to it. They're on some pretty bad roads, unfortunately, so minimize that just a little bit. This is just such a crazy storm. It's huge. It's a huge storm. We still have that V-notch, which with a storm this big, with a V-notch like that, it indicates a very, very, very strong updraft. Let's go look at Perryton really quick. Yeah. And then Anthony, the storm was looking pretty impressive earlier. The shear for mesocyclone still not looking too great, which is good. We didn't think that the environment way out here would be as good. We're looking at mostly right in here to be the best environment. So see what happens in just a second with these chasers. The storm, I think, if I recall correctly, it was weak earlier, but it's actually It's actually looking pretty good now. And we do have a lot of, unfortunately, we do have some initiation going on there from Dodge City down. So if there is a storm that can lock on and become semi-isolated, that is a more probable to see another tornado. Let's see what they did. They downgraded the tornado to radar indicated. It does not look as impressive there on velocity, so the tornado does seem to lifted. Yeah, not as impressive as it was just a second ago. So it's really trying to wrap and have tornado potential. It's just having a really hard time to do that. It's getting super close and then fizzles right out of the conditions, which is good. But if we do see any more storms over here to the north, it'll definitely have a much more favored environment, it looks like. Violent tornado perimeter still has not updated. So we'll see about that in just a second. It should post in the next 5-10 minutes. Their mesocyclone should be right somewhere in here. They're just to the south. So yeah, definitely going to have a better streaming improved. We'll have super fancy like some of the other streamers right there, but uh-oh, that's not good. There we go. Weather-wise, having bugs every once in a while. Okay, violent tornado parameter has just updated, and good news, it's been downgraded from 9 to 8, which is awesome. And it has shifted slightly to the east, and thankfully has not shifted more south. So if this keeps up, hopefully it'll remain pretty good. Let's take a look quickly. So the HRRR, this is what it is right now projecting. It's a storm passing by and fizzling out sooner or later. It's also showing all the storms that are to the east of this. So all of these shows that also. Oh, let's not do that. Fizzling out as well, and then more storms just to the south of where that violent tornado parameter is at a 8 right now, which indicates of a decent chance of a tornado or two happening that hour, and some more supercells firing south. So basically, we look at radar right now, shows right in this area. And every single storm in that area does show an updraft velocity, which does mean that they all will be rotating. So thankfully they do seem to be more close together. So we'll have like a storm right here, storm right here, storm right here, if the models do pan out exactly like they say. Sometimes they don't, but for today, I do think the models will pan out very close to what will be realistic. Very, very close. Very interesting velocity scan. And if you don't know about velocity, I believe the reds are going towards. Let's look at the radar site really quick. I never get the direction right. So it's north, yeah. So I was right. The reds are going towards, and the greens are going away from the radar. And then where, if we do have, let's say, some reds and they're touching really close to greens, a little bit circular, or even a little bit curved, definitely shows a good chance of a tornado being on the ground. And as you read radar, like me and many other people, the more you do it with actually seeing streamers, see tornadoes, the better you get at identifying what is actually on the ground, or what is likely on the ground. Also, correlation coefficient is a really good way to confirm or deny if a velocity signature is indicating of a tornado. So if we see blues right there next to the velocity, that does indicate, and like a nice, let's say, blues in a patch like this that's dark blue in one singular patch right next to a very tight velocity couplet, indicates a good tornado potential. But this is all very messy. Even though there is pretty good blues right here, we do know that, for one, tornado's not on the ground, and two, the velocity does not look super impressive. It does look impressive, but not like tornado quality impressive. And another thing to factor in is that this storm has very large hail, and on correlation coefficient, which basically identifies debris, hail, and stuff like that, you can see blues, especially with the storm that's producing 2-inch hail. So that's how I can find that out. And yeah, this newest scan is yeah. So just listen to Jason for a second. Definitely won't see a tornado within the next 5 minutes again from the storm making its way over to Roston, which is good, which means Roston most likely will not be hit by a tornado, which is good. But you never know. So, this could curl again, and then basically the RFD takes this rain over here and wraps it around, and when we see that wrapping around, and we get that in line with our forward flank draft, which is right here, and that lines up perfectly, is when we see tornadoes. And that happened twice from the storm, briefly before it fizzled out again. So it will take another at least 5 minutes to try and recycle to do that. New tornado warning. They just extended the tornado warning, so if you are living there in Roston, Lawrence, Log Cabin Corner, or surrounding areas, let's check the population on this. It's impacting 1,000 homes, or 1,600 people, 845 homes, just one cell tower. Fire emergency medical station. So if you do have the WeatherWise app, you can view all this stuff, which is pretty cool. Very, very messy velocity couplet. So that's interesting. So thank you guys for being here on the stream. Please like, subscribe if you do like the stream and enjoying it so far. I think I'm one of very few live right now, if there is anyone else. So the storm just passing to the west of Buffalo. It still has a little bit of that B-notch there. I like to call it several different things B-notch. Oh, there's Brandon right there. Which does indicate of a strong rotating updraft. And if we look at satellite, here we go. Add this. Yeah, and if we look at satellite, it's showing a very similar thing. That B with that U right in there. If we go back a few slides, has been just getting bigger and bigger. And this storm that I was talking about earlier, it does have a pretty good updraft right there. So let's go check on it again. And it's right here near Anthony. Another storm. This storm does look a little bit better. Just to the south there in Jet. Yeah, definitely a little bit more hail there. See more values. Not seeing crazy rotation, just some generalized mesocyclone rotation. Most cyclones probably not. Wall cloud's probably not there, which is good. Definitely not as a favorable as an environment for tornadoes. Still favorable for wind and hail, just not tornadoes. But this will be making its way down there towards. Oh, let's try and pronounce it. Cherokee, Nescatunga, Nash, Waukita, Manchester. So definitely if you live in that area, be weather aware. Not just weather aware, but like keep an eye and go indoors if you are outside. Wow, that's an interesting velocity signature. Very strong inbound and outbound winds. Very messy. So we will see if this storm does try and recycle. It does have a history of recycling and producing tornadoes. Yeah, the RFD is definitely way back there because the mesocyclone is right here. And then the RFD is right here. And in order to get tornado genesis, generally we have to see this come about like that, or like that, something like that. At least to right here, which when the rain enters very close to the mesocyclone, really close, is when we've seen this thing produce tornadoes. We've seen it produce twice now. So, you want to support the stream, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you can't do comments. This is a video. This is an interesting storm. There's a warning right here, but not down here to Parrington. Interesting. So, I don't judge the National Weather Service. Very happy about them. Make my life way easier. It saves so many lives. Very messy. Wow, let's go take a look. 95, 115. So very, very strong mesocycle. I mean, I've said this a billion times throughout the stream since we started. Rush to get it done. It's only getting worse and worse, it seems like. So we'll see if this comes back. Instead of it going north, this indention there, hook echoes we like to call it, gets more to the south of the actual storm. So other storms to take a note on over here: Anthony, Cherokee, Waukita, Jet. The storm over here: Helena, Goldtree, Lamaha, Hillside. 1.25, 1.25 inch hail, radar indicated with 60-mile-an-hour winds. Over here in Wichita, should not see a whole lot, maybe just a hail or wind, or no tornadoes likely. Unfortunately, we do have some robust storms over here tapping into that very favorable tornado environment over here in Bloom, Englewood. Hopefully this boundary right here, I haven't done a lot of research on it. Hopefully that doesn't play into tornado potential later on, because it is parallel to exactly where the storms would be. So if we did see a storm that did fire and lock on and track down, and that would not be good. That would almost certainly result in a tornado, possibly even a strong one. So we have a very large area of initiation. Yeah. So here's our satellite view with our storms right here. Pretty neat. So here's our storm. Let's go look at this beautiful storm. There it is. It's got some pretty strong inflow. You can see the fast moving of, okay, right, going this direction. Give me one brief moment. I had to close the door there, make sure we don't have any other noise from the house. Very shared house. Oh look, 5 views. So yeah, this is our storm that has been producing tornadoes. 2 tornadoes that I can recall. Very strong. Keep an eye on that still. Been keeping an eye on that for for a while. So, this is only getting worse and worse, what it seems like. Instead of the 75 degrees to the storm is supposed to be like this if it does want to see tornado potential, and the mesocyclone's like literally right here. It does have a rotating wall cloud, which I would say is very common for a storm this size. It has very, very strong rotating updraft, but definitely won't see a tornado for at least another 5 to 10 minutes. So down here from Ralston, Leverance, Log Cabin Corners under the tornado warning currently. Guys are there, make sure you stay in your safe spot. And Leverance could definitely see that tornado drop down again if it does get strong enough. Especially down there in Log Cabin Corner. That does have some very strong inbound winds. It's a storm with a special weather statement for 0.88 inch hail. It does have a, oh wow, look at that. It's mesocyclone's right in here, and the RFD is wrapping around, and it has that little bit of a, you can see a U with a V, which is pretty good for indicates of a strong storm. Velocity does not look super impressive, but that could change. So we'll keep a really close eye out on the storm just to the southwest of Sun City, southeast of Wilmore, tracking its way over down there to Aetna, going on past just to the west of Deerhead. So thankfully this isn't running to any super populated areas, which is obviously really good. But hopefully the storm doesn't become a problem later on. It is a little bit too east, in my opinion, to have really good tornado potential, but that doesn't mean it's possible to have a tornado. Even though I do think the most favorable environment is definitely right in here, but this does still have potential, just a lot less than the storm here, especially these storms up north, if they do mature and get strong enough to see tornadoes. So hopefully these storms don't, but you never know. Interesting warning going on right here. Definitely some 1-inch hail making its way to Derzute, Follett, to the north of Higgins, maybe eventually making its way to Shattuck, but also the storm is falling south. So if we look at our winds, based just off of the storm, we do have winds coming in this way, and then these winds right here are going that way, maybe slightly that way, depending on the storm. Did not mean to do that. So very interesting. If we look at the models again, lots of stuff to always be viewing. This is the HRRR. If you've watched YouTube channel or this YouTube videos before, I like to use it. It basically models what could happen. And we are seeing this a little bit more north. It hasn't really gone yet, but this is the storm. It says it's going to make its way off that way and eventually dissipate before more storms over here start to take control there. And it says there's even a possibility of some severe storms over here in Nebraska and South Dakota. So let's take a look at that there on radar. Yeah, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning there in Valentine. With a pretty good rotating mesocyclone here, winter. That's actually some really strong stuff going on there. And then this storm is, it's really rotating pretty well. It's got a nice curve there to it. So I wouldn't be surprised to see 1 inch, maybe even 1.5. If we look at vertically integrated liquid. Yep, 79. So definitely 1 inch to 1.5 inch. Oh, and right as I say that, look there. mesoscale discussion has been issued. See, guys, just as fast as the official sources. So definitely got to keep an eye out in this area. This show peak wind gusts there, 60 miles an hour, and PKL 1.25. So definitely could see a lot of those semi-severe storms there in Nebraska and South Dakota. Like, subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. This storm does still have some pretty strong velocities, but it's looking better on radar. It's looking better than what it did. We can see it's trying to push this rain more south to the mesocyclone. So it looks like it's on its 50-60% of the way there to produce a tornado again if it does decide to do that. So yeah, there we go. It's a massive storm. Absolutely crazy. Let's look at satellite again really quickly. Yeah, it's still looking impressive. It's been looking. Oh, tornado sirens going down in Lawrence. Nice, tornado sirens just went off there in Lawrence. So there, you guys in Lawrence, if you are watching, please make your way over to your safe spot. I mean, you've been on a tornado warning forever. But yeah, you definitely see the possibility of a tornado within the next 5 minutes or so. The mesocyclone is just to the north of you, and if it does decide to drop a tornado quickly, it will happen and make its way over there close, if not on Lawrence. So, as it tracks its way down to Log Cabin Corner area. Look at that. That looks absolutely phenomenal. Wow. Look at that structure. Wow. I'm gonna save this. Gosh dang it. Wrong time. That's like that's a really beautiful story. Because I do storm chasing myself. About to get into it to where I actually drive super far away. That is phenomenal structure. Very good for taking pictures. So look at our scan. It's still pushing its way south, but I do see it trying. Yeah, it's definitely trying to get that. So about 70%, 60 to 70% of the way down to getting the tornado genesis tornadoes happening there. Other storms to look at again over in Perrington. They finally did the warning after forever. There for 1 inch hail, 60 mile an hour winds. So that's good. Tornado siren in my ears. No, thank you. Okay. Oh, there's that. Okay, other storms. Over here. Oh, look, and as I was saying earlier that this should be upgraded. Or did I say that? I don't remember. Is that another storm? But I did say something about the storm being pretty impressive. They're in making its way right down there to Mineola. Yeah, so it shouldn't really impact very many people. If we look, impacts, yeah, just 885 people, 400 homes, which is good. Should not produce a tornado in at least 10 minutes, but it does look really good. It is. Let's take a look. They're on satellite. Oh, tornado starts going down. There it is on satellite, just a little blip. But it did just come out of nowhere, and that's how this storm just came absolutely out of nowhere. Did not look super impressive at first. It's just like basically every single storm does, of course. Just slightly slower than the other one, but yeah. Look at the history of this storm. So you can see, yeah, it's just 20 times back. So this one's following a similar path to this one down here, and it has more tornado fuel, as I can say. If we look at our SPC 8 violent tornado parameter, it's right in the center of that, maybe in 7. surface vorticity. It has access to Great 3 Cape, which is low level atmosphere energy, and surface vorticity. And surface vorticity with Good 3 Cape does help with tornado potential, almost like a boundary, but not quite as well as a boundary does. This will be making its way, just seems like, to the west or directly over Lawrence. And you can't see it very well, but it does have some incredible structure, a wall cloud. And from a wall cloud can come a funnel cloud along with a tornado. If you're liking the stream, please like, subscribe, and check out our forecast afterwards. If you'd like to, we do post videos, very informal. Okay, now I'm questioning myself. Look at this. There's no storm. There's not even a storm behind it making its way over. And they did issue. Oh, I see what they did here. So they're expecting the storm to make a southwesterly direction. That is some absolutely crazy looking structure over here on the storm. My, very photogenic right now. So there's your wall cloud right here with its inflow tails. That just looks so good. If I saw this chasing, I would be very happy. Here, storm base. Yeah, that just looks so impressive. And as we can see, it's trying to wrap around. It's trying its best to produce a tornado. If you can see this right here, that's really fast. It is very fast moving wall cloud. So this storm is very big, very strong. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Other storms again. We'll take a quick look. Dodge City. Definitely want to have to take a close look at this one. It is wrapping around a mesocyclone, so there might be a wall cloud or something right here. Storm. Oh, tornado warning. Hail is increased to 3 inches. The storm mesocyclone is keeping the hail up there, so making even bigger hail. 3 inches is what they're saying there, which is absolutely crazy. And this storm does look pretty good. It is still in the phase of being developed, so always gotta keep a close eye on that. This one is an absolute hailer. 70 knots, or 70 dB is pretty good. It is rotating just a little bit. Yeah. Getting tired over here doing all this talking. Here in Wichita. Still just some initiation, but it's mostly gone now. This storm still rotating a little bit, but not a whole lot. Even has a little bit like a Boeing type of situation. Oh, there's our wall cloud. Fancy. Yeah. Pretty good. Might try and reorganize and recycle. So if you do live over here, about here, beyond, not seeing a whole lot of tornado potential. Severe potential should not be. It'll be very isolated today. If we look over here, basically anywhere from here down to this area. could definitely see a higher increase of storm. I mean, right now we already have a huge portion, I just draw a face and I didn't even realize I was doing that. Interesting. But yeah, it's pretty good on models, and our violent tornado parameter is right in this area. Models do show more initiation right in here that does make its way south after this storm right here fizzles out. Just looking at models, does seem like it might try and produce another tornado and then make its way out. Give me 1 second.
Hey, Brady.
We're in the worst data zones ever out here.
Yeah, this thing is cooking again.
Hey Steve, I'm not sure if you said anything else after that last transmission.
Yes,
I've
sir.
been in the worst spot for cell data. This is the most annoying thing ever. These dead zones are killing me right now. Alright, this thing is really...
Microphone was off. This storm is looking really good now. So, looks like if I was reviewing this, say it has about a 60% chance of recycling a tornado before it does fizzle out eventually. And then we might either stop the live stream or wait for other storms to initiate, maybe along this boundary. Hopefully not. If there is any storms that do go along this boundary, that's not good at all. But yeah, you see, the reason why I'm saying it's good is because before we had lots of rain like this, and then we had an inch in like that, but now it's wrapping around like this, and the mesocyclone's right here. So it's getting close. It's getting pretty close there to producing another tornado within the next 5 minutes or so, if it does continue to strengthen. And I'd say it's 80 to 90% on its way to producing a tornado. Take a quick look at other storms. This one over here, Deerhead, Anita, Neetna, something like that, producing some very large hail, it seems like. Yeah, 70 dB, so they have it for 2-inch hail. Over here, just south of Dodge City in Minneala, only 100 homes affected, is producing 2-inch hail. I did not know that. We'll go to vertically integrated liquid. Yeah, that I can definitely see that. This boundary is getting too close south, because if that continues to go south and we get initiation along that boundary, we could see a violent tornado. Perryton. Looks like it's rotating. I mean, this is very high up in the atmosphere. Radar is very far away. Also, the cell might be splitting, possibly, which would be interesting. Again, yeah, this is looking good. Velocity is just slightly worse than last time. But we draw this again. This is our mesocyclone, and this is really close to wrapping around. I think previous times, once we got it to wrap around like that, and rain was starting to really enter the tornado area, is where we saw tornado genesis. So if we can see radar get to right about here, we'll be seeing or getting really, really, really close to a tornado. So keep an eye on that every couple minutes. There's another storm there right to the north of it. See if it's producing any hail or not. On its way to producing hail, not quite. In this storm, if we go look over back in this area, yeah, it's really not really rotating that much anymore. It does have some contamination a little bit from being too close to radar site. Yeah, it's rotating just a little bit there, and producing some hail and wind over there, encompassing Nesquatunga, Wakia, going to pass to the east of Cherokee. 2.7 thousand people affected. Yeah. And a lot of other blips, but over here in this area should see it fizzling out. It's already been fizzling out, but should see it continue to fizzle out. This storm over here that has produced a tornado right here in Lawrence, making its way to Log Cabin Corner, eventually to Shattuck, if it does keep strengthening or remaining its strength, and Gabe. It's getting a lot more organized, which it has produced tornadoes twice. Very brief. There's an interesting velocity couplet there. It does have a pretty strong velocity couplet for being very high up in the atmosphere. If it keeps this up, could see a tornado warning on this for radar indicated rotation. But it's so far away from the radar site. The only way to tell if there's a tornado is if there's a strong one or through storm chasers. Circle this again. Yeah, It's about parallel. The reflectivity, the rain and stuff is right. It's came across, so it's getting close. 85% of the way to tornado genesis. Yeah. Newest scan is even more promising. So we are. I'm 80% confident to say that we will have another tornado on the ground within the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. It doesn't look as good, but the reflectivity to get tornado, which there's a wall cloud. First, you need a wall cloud. And you need that. Another key thing is to get that RFD wrapping around the wall cloud, also known as the mesocyclone. Wall cloud is a mesocyclone. Lowered is the term we use. Yeah, definitely some more initiation we can see along here. Thankfully, it is away from the boundary. Hopefully, it stays that way. Just definitely don't want any storms interacting with this boundary right here. If we do have storms, how it works, if you don't know, so we do have this boundary right here. If we have a storm that interacts with this, basically the boundary will provide extra spin, energy, and fuel, basically, for tornado potential. Excuse me. We see in Nebraska a couple months ago during that derecho event, or maybe it was in South Dakota, I forgot, one of these two states. There was a storm, and there wasn't a lot of wind shear, which is spin as you go up, and tornado ingredients, but there was a really good boundary, and it interacted with the boundary and produced very violent tornado. Thankfully, it was over mostly some cornfields and stuff. So we do have these storms over here in Nebraska and Kansas, Nebraska and South Dakota. Not really rotating a whole lot, but it is rotating. They are all rotating. This one's producing 1.5 inch hail observed. Storm to the north, definitely rotating a little bit, but can't say how much hail it's producing. A little too far from the radar. Let's draw this again. Nope. So still, it's remained basically parallel, horizontally in tune with this. So hasn't gone. It's kept up. So the mesocyclone's right here, and then to get tornado from the past, this rain needs to get about right there, corresponding to the mesocyclone, also known as the wall cloud, which we can see right here from the storm chaser Brandon Kopic. If we can get that right there, we'll definitely see a really good chance of tornado potential. So we'll see if it has the strength to wrap it around there. If not, it'll probably fizzle out within the next 45 minutes or so and not have a chance to get tornado again. Some other storms. This one has some. That's a really tight mesocyclone right there. So we'll see if there's any storm chasers that can confirm or deny that this has a wall cloud funnel tornado. So this storm's rotating producing some 1-inch hail. Bunch of blips. So all these storms over here should fizzle out sooner or later. But then anywhere about in here could see some more storms. So this is playing out exactly how the HRRR computer simulation model did say. Wow, you can see that dust blowing right here. It's pushing all that into the storm. Yep, he just said that. So, really intense. That's some pretty good influence. It's really strong influence, which indicates of a strong storm. Look at satellite again, because why not? Yeah. So we still have this U, also known as a V notch, I believe, that indicates that instead of, because our overshooting top's right here, so nothing, the updraft, the mesocyclone is so strong that the wind and stuff can't pass it, so it goes around it, which is why you see extra stuff right along on the U shape. All these other storms and blips, nothing. And it keeps growing out and out, so we'll see if these other storms make its way. Let's see. I was right, guys. Over here, Mesocap warning system. National Weather Service is watching. They did issue a tornado warning, like I said, was possible earlier for 3-inch hail as well. Radar indicated rotation. I said that about 5-10 minutes ago, so it's nice to know that you're right when it comes to the weather, because with how far away that this is from radar sites, it's really kind of hard to tell exactly what's happening on the ground. But I would say that there's a really good chance that there's at least a wall cloud there on the ground, not on the ground, but a wall cloud at the storm, which could have a follower tornado drop from it. I'm up at the title 2 tornado warnings. 2 tornado warnings, guys. So quite exciting day out. Fortunately, was not able to get a video posted. It says Reed Temmer was out here. That's interesting. Would not really expect that. So yeah, we'll definitely take another look at these storms. Just a few seconds. Okay. So this storm, the tornado warning, let's see if it's updated. Still about the same. Really far from radar, so there could be tornado on the ground right now. Could be just a wall cloud, so it's so far from all the radar sites. It's literally wedged in between. A little closer to this one, but it's really in the wedge between it all. Start to stream. Oh yeah, that's looking pretty good. This is feeding into the storm right here. It's looking really, really good. Let's take another little analysis here. Oh, they just updated the tornado warning. there. Yeah, it's surging. It's still parallel. Actually, maybe a little bit beyond that, actually. So it's still very slowly making its way over to possibly producing another tornado here within 5 to 15, 20 minutes. Looking pretty good there with the live storm chaser. So they have extended it to the south of Cabin Corner. Haven't pushed it to the other side of the panhandle yet of Oklahoma. Now they're getting the warning over the phone. Okay. This storm right here, rotating, it's very actually kind of slow moving. I mean, all these storms aren't moving super fast anyways. This one still looks about the same. Thankfully, still don't see any pop-up storms anywhere near the boundary, which is a good sign. And all these storms are to the east of it. So thankfully, those storms are like that, because if they weren't and they were close to the boundary, they could lock into the boundary and then really produce a tornado. Check on our storms over here in Nebraska and South Dakota. I don't think they issued an outlook for this area. Yeah, just a very isolated area of storms. Some higher wind shear and other factors. So yeah, this storm is producing about 1.5 inch hail, and all the other ones are quite weak, just producing up to 1 inch hail and 40, 50 mile an hour winds. And this storm over here, just to the south of Perryton, Texas, heading its way a little bit to the west of Canadian Texas, in the direction of Miami, Texas, which is quite a ways off. There could be a tornado on the ground right there, or there could just be a simple wall cloud. So it's too far from the radar to tell exactly what that storm is doing. So again, yeah, it's getting close there. It's getting really close to tornado genesis over here on radar, from radar's point of view anyways. It's getting really close. 85% of the way there, close to 90. And these storms, yeah, still looking. Kind of velocity. The storm chasers are saying it's not doing a whole lot. On velocity, it does look a little bit more, instead of horizontal, now that's vertical, or tilted a little bit. Instead of being horizontal, it's more curved. We can see, which was not happening before. So quite interesting. I just realized I did not make a thumbnail for this live stream. Did not even make a thumbnail. Let's see what the thumbnail even is. Yeah, it's a funny thumbnail. I will have to make a thumbnail. Completely forgot those are still getting views because of that. Such a interesting storm. It will be fizzling out within the next hour, so it wants to produce a tornado, it needs to start hurrying up. Right now it's being really slow to doing that. We do look, it's still ridiculous to the mesocyclone is, so it's been staying about this way since the past 5-10 minutes maybe now. Got some great structure on it. Nice wall cloud. But right now it still needs to gain some more strength if it wants to produce another tornado. So far it's produced a tornado twice. This storm does not look quite, no, mine. Looks, it's velocity. This is going towards away the radar. Right in here is where a tornado could be, or wall cloud. It's too far from the radar really to tell exactly what's happening. Excuse me. Here, let's highlight this. Interesting. Kind of hard to tell if that is a. We look in correlation coefficient, where this blue is, could mean that there is lofted debris in the air. It's kind of hard to tell from this far out from the radar side. It does have a lot of hail though, so it could just be hail contamination, but it very well could be a tornado on this storm. New warning issued over here. That goes down to Ashland. 2-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds affecting 891 people, 511 homes. That storm actually is growing quite well. It did not grow. It's been, yeah, it's been growing quite a bit. Satellite really quick. It is growing, it's still growing, so that's a good sign for the storm. This is what we were just looking at. And this is our current storm. So our current storm is being battled just a little bit with brain's not working anymore. The storm right here is being battled by these other storms trying to take the energy in the atmosphere for itself. So they're all sharing, which would. I don't think it has quite good as a V or U notch as what it did earlier. It was looking intense. Now, not quite so much. So the mesocyclone may be starting to weaken just a little bit, which is good. It's definitely a good thing. But before it was nearly fully isolated, and now it's just semi-isolated, which has to share all the energy in the atmosphere with all the storms. The storm to the north of Ashland still has some rotational aspect towards it. Still producing quite a bit of hail too. The storm does not look very organized. Oh. This does not look very pretty anymore. Okay. Let's go look back at our other tornado warning storm over here in Perryton. Yeah, velocity. The scan doesn't look as impressive. Thinking it's so far away from the radar site that it is hard to tell. And yeah, the correlation coefficient is. Could be correlating, but it's hard to tell. If you like the live stream, please like and subscribe to the channel. And if you have to go, be sure to check out our forecast videos that we do post a few times a week. Meant to do one today, but got a little sidetracked. Storm. Let's do a little analysis on it. Come on, right in there. Come on. Yeah, this storm does look pretty. Yeah. Storm in Atina. Atina, however you pronounce the city, man. Looking pretty promising for possible tornado potential. You know, it is a little too far for me. Let's look at. So our violent tornado parameter is still way up there north in Kansas. So this is heading out of the violent tornado perimeter area. It's going into the orange, which means that probably not going to produce a tornado again. I mean, it's kind of close to getting the stuff it needs to, but it's just heading outside the favorable environment for a tornado. The storm up here just north of it does have more chance, but this one is still dominant as an overall storm. So that newest HRR, this does look a little more realistic. As the storm plummets to the south, all of these storms will also plummet to the south as well. So you could see a couple other tornado warnings today, but it does seem unlikely. So once this storm does not have a tornado warning on it, and when these storms do die down and move past Texas down to Syrie, Amarillo, this area, we will undo the live stream, which will be anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes. We've been live for how long now? An hour and 44 minutes. Okay, this looks pretty good. Yeah, it seems like it might be trying to wrap back around because it stopped wrapping around. It got a little messy there for a second. Does have a nice bowl right here, so it has a nice base there. But look at this. This looks interesting too. Very fast moving. Quite the rotation.
We got multiple areas of rotation.
Brandon just said he saw multiple areas of rotation.
What'd you say, Copy?
interesting. Using multiple things are rotating. Oh,
Sorry,
it's
I'm talking
tornado
radio.
warning.
I'm probably gonna go back
That's
to the road, north
interesting.
to south road, and look
It downgraded this morning from 3-inch hail
Yeah, I
to
don't know what to think with this.
2-inch
Like,
hail.
it looks
283
like
drop
it's
south.
spinning over there, but then it's like good over here. Like, I don't know what to think right now.
He's saying that you see multiple
Because it
areas
like
of
spins
spin.
good over there, but it don't tighten up. So
And then he's also seeing this right here spinning.
I guess I'll go west and south.
I mean, it's dropping due south. Like, literally due south.
Huh. Well, then west and south it is.
Supposed to be a mesocyclone handoff, but on radar that doesn't seem really promising right now.
Dude, what are all these volunteer firefighters doing?
It could also be, there is, let's check that again. There is some vorticity at the surface that could be trying to spin up a couple other areas of rotation. Which could be another factor.
Yeah, 283.
So, who knows?
Bro,
Really weird storm. I mean, it's an absolutely
Man, that
monster
core
storm
is just
anyway.
sitting right over the just not moving.
This is looking... If we take a look at our photograph that I was talking about earlier and compare it to the
Yeah,
supercell
and it looks like
now,
there's a little area of rotation right on the road here.
you can see that hook, see that green line I just drew? Now look at this. The storm was looking exactly like this, what I saw earlier.
I'm about
Actually,
to jump on a 283
To the
from
current.
412.
There we go. Yeah. It looks exactly like the photograph though. Which before it was looking a little bit more like this instead of this.
wow.
So,
Yeah, just got you.
quite interesting. It's been an interesting day. Only 2% tornado risk, and we've seen 2 tornadoes, so 2% tornado risk was deserved today. I actually didn't think there would be a super good chance of tornadoes. The NATO cast, if we look at, no, I'm not going to look at that right now, which basically takes the models and addresses what it thinks the tornado potential is. But, that scan right before it updated looked really promising that there was a tornado on the ground, even though it was far away, so that's interesting. We'll look over here at Pond Creek, Nash, Hillsdale. The storm is producing quite a bit of hail. No tornado, so 1.5 inch, maybe even 2 inch hail from the storm right now, which is impacting almost 2,000 people. Right here we have some nice rotational aspect to it. It is definitely rotating and producing some 2 inch hail. Over here in Ashland, the storm, it is continually improving itself. The updraft does not seem extremely good. So you can see we don't see much of a flying eagle, also known as a P-notch. Kinda see one, I guess, a little bit, but not really there.
We survived
Check
earlier.
the newest scan.
Yeah, my
Nope, yeah, on the newest scan we can see it right there, so that's a good sign for tornado potential. Definitely in a better environment. Not a whole lot of rotation is going on though.
Yeah, that's what those mud tires I have help me a lot.
Oh wow. This is an interesting reflectivity scan. This is a really interesting reflectivity scan.
Alright, chat, we're gonna keep going south.
So it's like we have a storm and the hook is like right here. And the mesocyclones. I see why he said multiple areas of rotation. I mean, this looks like it's rotating, this looks like it's rotating, this looks like it's rotating, this looks like it's rotating. It's a bunch of mess. on the radar. Ignore these two. These is probably nothing that he's saying, but you get my point. Well, like we have an area rotation right here and right here. So there is a chance of a mesocyclone handoff, which basically takes the updraft and hands it over from north to south or south to north. One of these areas right here. So looking promising. I'm going to assume that this would be the one it's trying to hand it off to, but it might be yeah, it might be. Yeah, I don't know. Also don't know. I wasn't paying attention to it earlier. So yeah, this storm does look. It's looking decent. It may be trying to recycle. It's been having a tough time the past 20 minutes or so, but it has produced 2 tornadoes so far today. We have several other storms, including up here in Nebraska, with some. Oh wow, that's. Yeah, definitely. Maybe something tornado genesis could happen here.
All right, guys. Redman's got a bit better of a shot right now, so I'm gonna switch it to him.
Interesting.
So bear with me for one
So
second.
definitely keep an eye out here in Nebraska. Let's go back to our main area.
I'll show you my structure.
Ooh, the rotation is not looking nowhere near as good as it did earlier. Nowhere near as good. Let's take a look on satellite. Yeah, satellite imagery. It does show a little bit of the use. So it might have produced a tornado or got close to producing a tornado right here. But this storm right here is still looking good, and the storm to the north is looking okay. But I don't see a lot of rotation on the storm anymore. Barely weak rotation. It is far away from the radar though, so. Over here on our main storm that's been producing tornadoes today.
That structure is gorgeous.
It's a gorgeous structure.
Yes, it is.
So it does look like it handed it off to the south.
What are we on?
This also looks kind of weird right here.
Bob's Road.
That looks a little funky. But this looks like a main area of circulation right there. Oh, I forgot the storm chasers were still up that high. My bad, guys. Oh, we have 2 cells. One just above this, which is fighting for the energy, and this one right here could be fighting over the energy from the storm. So, quite interesting. So I feel like the tornado potential is just going to fall a little bit more down within the next 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, tornado potential is probably going to get really low for right in this area. Not that. So you could see these storms continue to trend south. Maybe some storms right here, because you do see another thing popping up right here. Let's look at this storm. They say the storm is beautiful, so that's good for them, I guess. Look at that little baby wall cloud. Little tiny thing. Please like and subscribe if you are enjoying the stream. New severe thunderstorm warning issued. Where did it go? Is it? Yeah, I don't know where the new severe thunderstorm warning is. Yeah, the storm in Nebraska is looking pretty interesting. That's for sure. Tornado potential from the SPC and from myself does not seem too high. I mean, we can take a quick check on what the wind shear like is up there. Yeah, nothing, nothing. But it must access something to rotate that strong. Uh-oh, now the velocity. Can't really see velocity really well anymore. Yeah, this storm's quite interesting. Oh wow, that looks nice. He says it looks really nice. I don't see a whole lot of good stuff from this. I mean, it does look nice. Not incredible though, from my own opinion. This radar scan just came in for the storm. Interesting velocity. Yeah, I really don't see any of these storms producing any more tornadoes, not gonna lie. Another quick look. Yeah, it's just making its way even more out of a favorable environment. And 50 knots of wind shear right now, so like 45, 50. It's not a whole lot. It's not tons of wind shear to work with, so I doubt it will. Excuse me. I doubt it's going to produce another tornado again. I mean, it's hanging in there, but I really don't think it's going to do much. Might just be starting to come alpha dominant, not gonna lie. And this other storm, too, nothing super serious. So, you do live anywhere in here, could definitely see some 1 inch hail, actually up to 3.5 inch hail. They updated this. So yeah, there's your severe thunderstorm warning. So I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream. Thank you to everybody who is watching. Please like, subscribe, check out our other videos. We have lots of forecast videos, and we do a really good job on that. Check out our sponsors. We have amazing sponsors. Wouldn't be doing this stuff without our amazing sponsors. And feel free to so we will definitely be doing some more live streams in the future, especially with these smaller scale storms and situations and stuff like that. So there you go.
Bob's Road in the middle of nowhere on a mud road.
Yeah, because it hasn't produced anything in like 45 minutes. So thank you to everyone watching. Have a great rest of your day.